In our last lesson, we had discussed about a very important topic, barometer and manometer. Barometer is a device which is used for measuring the atmospheric pressure. And on the other side, we have manometer. Jenny, may I know the use of manometer? Manometer is used for what? Barometer is used for measuring the atmospheric pressure, but this is a manometer. Any idea? Yeah, manometer is basically used for measuring the pressure difference. Pressure difference. Okay, if we trap a gas in a container, so to measure a pressure difference, we use a U-shaped tube, that is a manometer, to measuring the pressure difference. Now, children, today we are going to move on our next topic, and that the heading you can see, gas pressure and volume. So this gas pressure and volume, it's a part of chapter number 5, kinetic theory of gases. Chapter number 5, kinetic theory of gases. And this topic is extremely used in chemistry, gas pressure and volume. So in this topic, what we are going to find out, that is there any relation? Are you listening, students? Is there any relation between gas and pressure? And we have to find if there is any relation between gas and pressure. So is that relation is direct proportion or it is indirect proportional? So basically, children, in this topic of 3.09, gas pressure and volume, gas pressure and volume. Children, is this visible? Online students, can you see that the text written on the board? You put me on speaker view.
Yes, sir.
Put me on speaker view. And then you can find gas pressure and volume. If you see here on the screen, children, look at this diagram. In this figure here, what we have? You can find here that a gas is trapped in a tube. A gas is there. Some oil is filled. A pressure gauge is there. Pressure gauge meter is there. And basically we have a setup. We have a setup. And in this setup, when experiment was performed, and then it is found that, look at this table, children. This table is between pressure and volume. So look at the observation made during this experiment. When the pressure is kept at 200 kilopascal, what was the volume? What was the volume of the gas in the tube? That is 50 centimeter cube. Then the next point, they have increased the pressure by 50 kilopascals. And now you can see the effect on the volume. Volume is now not 50, it's not 60, but the volume is decreased by from some value from its initial volume. And if we keep increasing the pressure here, 400, 500, and 1000 kilopascal, then you look at the reading observation made during this experiment, that volume is decreasing and decreasing. Rajat, are you listening? From this experiment, it is observed if we increase the pressure of a gas. Now let me draw another diagram. In another diagram, children, if I draw this container, and suppose in this container I fill some gas, Some gas is there. Okay, just gas. Okay, some gas is there. Maybe air is there. I have connected a piston, a movable frictionless piston. This is a piston. A movable piston. And suppose this gas has some volume V. And this gas is filled in this container at a certain pressure. And what is that pressure? The pressure is P. If I move this piston upward or downward, if I move this piston upward or downward, basically as per the data available in our book, they said if we keep increasing pressure, increasing pressure means, children, if I start compressing the gas in this container, compressing the gas, if I move this piston downward, if I move this piston downward, what I'm doing here, children, that I'm increasing the pressure on the volume of the gas that is filled in this container. So if I increase the pressure, then I found that the volume of the gas particle or the gas, any gas in a container, it decreases. So from this observation, I can make a conclusion. What is that conclusion, children? That there is a relation between pressure and volume. And what is that relation? Pressure is indirect proportional to volume. But remember, children, here, this setup, when we are doing this experiment, you need to maintain temperature constant, children. You have to write here all this equation. This equation is valid. This P is indirect proportional to volume. This is applicable only if we maintain the temperature constant. This temperature should be constant. For example, if I keep this setup here in our classroom, so the temperature we have to maintain constant during we are performing this experiment, children. So if T is constant, P is indirect proportional to volume. Indirect proportional means, children, if I increase the volume, now here the upward sign of arrow means that if I increase the volume, in the corresponding that the pressure will decreases. So P is indirect proportional with volume. Further, I can write this equation. In another form. P is equal to, if I replace this proportional sign, and then we got a constant, so that constant divided by volume. We have this equation. P is equal to constant divided by volume. If we have this equation, P is equal to some constant, I will give you that the value of the constant also. If P is equal to constant, children, divided by volume, cross multiplied. If you cross multiply, PV is equal to constant. PV is equal to constant. What do you mean by this statement? PV is equal to constant. This means that the product of pressure and volume will give you what? A constant value. Constant value means, children, again, if one factor increases, if I increase P, in the same amount the volume will decrease, so that their product it becomes constant. For example, children, now see on the screen here. Here you can see, children, let me take the first value 200, this is P, and the volume is 50. Multiply 200 with 50. How much is this? This is around 10,000. For the second case, multiply 250 with 40. This is also 10,000. Similarly, last value 1000 multiplied by 10, that is also equal to 10,000. Every time, if you are multiplying pressure and volume, you are getting a constant term. Here that the constant term is 10,000. The constant value is, children, 10,000. Now, if we have this equation, PV equal to constant, children, I can further write this equation in another form. And what is that another form, children? What is that another form? Now, see here. I can write this equation. If PV is equal to constant, so this equation I can write pressure and volume at one stage is equal to the product of pressure and volume at any another stage. P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. What is this P1 V1, children? What is this P2 V2? Correct. Absolutely correct, children. To know what is this P1 V1, again let me draw a one die. Again, children, I have this container and I fill this container with some gas. Some gas particles are there. A fixed mass of gas is there. A fixed mass of gas. I have taken a certain quantity of gas in this container. Suppose when I fill this gas at that time, its volume is V1. That is called the initial volume. Please note it down somewhere, children. What is this V1? V1 is called the initial volume. And at the time that its pressure, the pressure acting on the wall of the container, that I can consider that this is P1. Initial pressure is P1, initial volume V1. But now somehow I have increased the pressure on the gas particles. Since I have compressed the gas, I move the piston downward. If I move a piston downward, you can consider any case, children. You move the piston downward or you move the piston upward. Moving upward means you are decreasing pressure. You are decreasing pressure if you move piston upward. Okay. But here I am taking the case that if I compress this gas by applying a force on a piston, moving piston downward, in that case, suppose when I pressed and this piston reached to this point, children. If it reaches to this point, at this point, suppose the pressure is P2, then it will have a different pressure. And as the volume you have seen that it has decreased because we have compressed it. Then the volume I can take, that is V2. So, but we have this equation. By remember all these things we are doing at maintaining that the temperature is constant. Then we can use this equation P1 V1 equal to P2 V2. And actually this equation, there is a name given to this equation, children. I want to share my screen and then you can read it here. Boyle's law. Boyle's law, children. The name given to this equation, this is called Boyle's law. If someone asks you, what do you mean by Boyle's law? Then it states what it states. It states that for a fixed mass of a gas at a constant temperature, then pressure and volume, they are indirect proportional to each other. Pressure and volume are indirect proportional to each other. This is called the Boyle's law. Now, from the Boyle's law, one more time. Suppose if I double this volume, double twice. If I make this volume double, what is the effect on the pressure? If I make the volume double, then what is the effect on the pressure? The pressure will get half. If it is get twice, then it gets half of that value. Whatever the initial pressure is there, it gets halved. So that is the meaning, the relation with this pressure and volume. One factor increase, other factor will decreases. Okay. Now, children, let me take one example from this equation. This equation is very, very important. P1 V1 equal to P2 V2. And suppose now, I will take some example from the book also, but before that, if I say initial pressure of a gas is maintained 1 atmospheric pressure, 1 atm. And initial volume is also given, children. What is that initial volume? Initial volume is given, suppose 5 meter cube. It can be in millimeter children. It can be in centimeter cube, whatever that here I have taken in meter cube. Suppose final pressure is also given. Final pressure is given. Maybe let me double this pressure, atm. So you need to calculate volume V2. What will be the final volume? Please do. Please take your time, children. You have to calculate V2. Remember, this entire information is given by maintaining temperature constant. Now, in this kind of question, children, you have to use the Boyle's law. Or do you find out that this is based on the Boyle's law, children? You will find this value here. You have to look temperature is constant or not. If temperature is given, the temperature is constant, so it means that this question is based upon this equation and the equation of Boyle's law. Initial pressure P1 multiplied by the initial volume 5. Final pressure has increased. This is 2 atm, and the volume we have to find out V2. So this V2 is given by 5 divided by 2, that is equal to 2.5 meter cube. Again, you can see, children, that again this value which we got is based upon the Boyle's law, where when we increase the pressure, I have doubled this pressure, where you can see I have doubled the pressure. Here P1 is 1 atm, P2 is doubled. Pressure get doubled, volume get halved. Volume get halved, children. 5. Volume is 5, and you can see here the volume gets halved. Half of 5 is 2.5. Now look at this example, children. Example number 1. Please try. An air bubble has a volume of 2 centimeter cubic centimeter at a depth of 20 meter in water. What will its volume be when it reaches the surface? Assume that the temperature doesn't change. Again, temperature doesn't change. If temperature doesn't change, then it means you have to use Boyle's law equation. Atmospheric pressure is equivalent to the pressure from a column of water 10 meter deep. Please remember all these values. We have an air bubble has a volume of 2 centimeter cube when released at a depth of 20 meter in water. Initially, that bubble is, you try yourself to do this question. Take some time in this question. Think about the statement given. Think about the statement given, children. then you will find air bubble. Air bubble is at a certain depth. Suppose the bubble has started from this point. This is the air bubble. This is at a depth of 20 meters. It has a certain volume. How much volume is given to them? Look at in the statement. What is the initial volume given? Air bubble has a volume. See in the statement, children, it has a volume. How much? 2 centimeter cube. That is the initial volume. So you have to write here that if initial volume is given, V1 is given. V1 is given here. You will write that value V1. What is the initial pressure, children? Initial pressure, P1. P1 is what? How much pressure is acting on this bubble? How much pressure is acting on this bubble? Find out, children. Trisha, may I know how much pressure is acting on this bubble? This bubble, which is at a depth of 20 meter in water. What is the pressure acting on the bubble when it is 20 meter deep? Trisha? Anyone from 9th class, please? Now, children, look, if you don't know how to find out how much pressure is acting on this air bubble, that first I can say that the atmospheric pressure is acting. Atmospheric pressure is acting. So let me write that the total pressure acting on the bubble, that is equal to the pressure due to atmosphere plus pressure at the point, this point, at the depth of 20 meter. So for that I have equation H rho into G. Pressure at a certain depth, I have this equation H rho and G. If I have this equation, so I can write atmospheric pressure. I know that is 1 atm plus value of H, density and gravity. H is 20 meter. Density is, what is the density of water? This is, I can take 1000 kilogram per meter cube, and the value of G is 10. If you multiply, remember this value is in Pascal here, so I can write this 1 atm plus, if you multiply, you will get this is 2 times 10 to the power 5, and then I can write this equation further, 1 atm plus 2 into 10 to the power 5, 10 to the power 5 Pascal is what? If you have read the previous topic, then 10 to the power 5 Pascal is equal to 1 atm actually. 1 atm is 10 to the power 5. Then this equation is, this is 2 atm, then that is equal to 2 plus A, 2 plus 1, 3 atm. 3 atm is the total pressure acting on the air bubble at a depth of 20 meter. So that is our initial pressure. Now, as for the statement, again, children, let me share my screen and look here. What will be its volume when it is reaches the surface? Air bubble is moving upward, children. Air bubble is moving upward. So from here, this bubble starts moving upward. And finally, it reaches to this point on the surface, moving upward. What is the pressure at this point on the surface? Only atmospheric pressure will be there at the surface of the water. If I stand, children, if I stand, I'm standing here on the surface of this floor. So how much pressure is acting on my body? 1 atmospheric pressure. So similarly, that the pressure acting on this air bubble when it raised to the surface is 1 atm, then it means that P2 is equal to 1 atm. 1 atm. D2 you have to calculate. Now calculate it. Again the same equation. P1 V1 P2 V2. P1 is 3. V1 is 2. P2 is 1. V2 you have to calculate. P2 is 6. So the final volume will be 6 and the volume will increase. Why it has increased, children? Why it has increased? Because at the surface pressure has been reduced. Pressure decreases, volume increases. It means this question is again based on the Boyle's law. Now look at some questions here. Question number 1, children. You crush a balloon, the pressure inside it rises. How does the kinetic theory explain this? Here, that question number 1, how a crashed balloon pressures will increase, rises, explain it with the help of kinetic theory of gases. If I stress, I know both of them. Now here, look at this bottle. At this water bottle, consider that this is a balloon. It's not a balloon, but it's a water bottle. If I squish, what happens, first the dimension will change because I am exerting a force on it. And due to this pressure, in squishing, I know they have given the pressure rises. This pressure is increasing in this. It is increasing. And if I squish this bottle in such a way, if I increase more and more pressure, then what will happen? The lid, this will open, means the bottle can damage, this, that the liquid can come out if the pressure is so much increased. Now, basically, what's happening here? If I squeeze, and what's happened? According to the kinetic theory, I have to give an answer according to kinetic theory of gases. Instead of the water molecules here, if I squeeze this room, okay, consider that this is a balloon. We are in a big balloon here. Compressing means that what I'm doing here. If I squeeze, that the volume, finally the volume will decrease, children, because the area will change, area will decrease, the volume will change, volume decreases. And if volume decreases, then from the Boyle's law, children, that the pressure will increase. First the concept. But how this pressure will increase, you have to explain. So when I squash, then at that time, the gas particles, children, again I have to draw a diagram. This is the same concept, children, but when I squash a balloon or a container in which gas is filled, just consider this diagram. Squash, after squashing, this diagram is slightly like this. After squashing, okay, this will be the diagram. Then now in this case, the gas molecules, they will frequently collide with the walls of the container, walls of the balloon, that in the examples given in the book, more frequently because they have less space to cover. Just focus on one molecule. It has to move along this side. before squeezing. But when I squeeze, then what happens that this the same molecules has to move, cover a lesser distance. So it means lesser distance that the particles collide frequently with the walls of the container. When it collides, a force acting where on the area of the wall, force divided by area, pressure, every time the gas particle strikes on the wall, they exert a pressures. As their speed, not the speed is not changing here, the speed is same, but the collision became frequent. Frequently, they will collide. Continually, they are colliding here, and that will exert a more pressure on the walls, and that's why you can say that the pressure of the gas will increase in this case. Move to the second question. Even if you do have any other explanation, so you can also write the answer. Question number 2, children. We have 2.5 minutes for this meeting, children. Please do this question 2 and 3. A balloon has some initial volume. You have your notebook? Notebook you have? Take out your notebook and try, please. Or even you can note it down on your textbook also. Question number 2, children. In question number 2, balloon contains 6 meter cube of helium at a pressure of, I don't know that, students. Is this visible on the Zoom? This question. 100 kilopascal. This is initial pressure. This is initial volume. The pressure falls, decrease, and the balloon expands. Pressure decreases, volume will increase, the balloon will expand. And temperature doesn't change. It doesn't change. Paul's law, you took that. What is the volume of the balloon when the pressure is fallen to 50 kilopascal? Please do that. Apply the equation. You can type your answer to in the chat box. Volume is given 6. Initial pressure is given 100 kilopascal. Final pressure is given 50. Volume I have to calculate. So this will be 60 divided by 5. That is equal to how much? 12. 12 centimeter cube, meter cube. Volume unit is meter. So 12 meter cube is the final volume in this case. Did you get the same answer? Rajat? Jivon Lee, your answer?
Yes, sir.
Your answer of this question number 2?
For A or B?
Yes, A part.
A part. Yeah, I got wrong.
You got wrong. Okay. Please remember now how to do this question. Equations. Charvi Agrawal.
Yes, sir.
Your answer, please.
Sir, I couldn't complete the question.